Hello? Hello?
You are accessing a U.S. government information system managed by the Department of Veterans Affairs. The system is intended to be used by veterans for retrieving their own individual information. By continuing, you understand that
if I turn it, the light comes up and then it darkens.
such as gaining unauthorized access to data, changing data, causing harm to the system or its data, or misuse of the system component. Every second, 1965,
0102.
you must enter 0102.
Specific instructions must be followed.
You remember this truck right here?
Again,
Yes.
please
We're not doing it
enter
right now,
the
right?
patient data.
The big old teeth, it's gonna get pulled right there.
That's cool. Little tiny dentist right over here. So they just use pliers and pull them out, right?
Yep. Bingo. Pliers is the name of it. I was driving Uber until 11 o'clock last night. It's mental drain driving 3 days in a row. I'll tell you about the Northwest Mutual Financial Advisor role. First year, it's a boot camp style 425 to start. The big old teeth, it's gonna get pulled right there.
That's cool. Little tiny dentist right over here. So they just use pliers and pull them out, right?
Yep. Bingo. Pliers is the name of it. I was driving Uber until 11 o'clock last night.
Yeah, we're gonna get done.
We're overdue. Long overdue.
Rwanda.
Yeah, like at Rwanda, folks.
Rwanda. Wakanda forever.
So Wakanda.
I need nootropic pills for my brain because I cannot think. I gotta make a schedule appointment. Oh. So yeah, it was true in the Old Testament. If you thought, if you were doing right by God, and AKA righteous, you're in God's favor. Like God's going, you're doing good. And what happens is the person has an abundant life and they live long and prosper and all that. And if you weren't doing right by God, then all kinds of stuff comes down, plagues and bad things. And they didn't have a concept of the afterlife until a little later, and it gets kind of complicated. And they didn't have a concept of sort of the devil either. Yeah, how the concept of God evolves in people. Just random.
Whatever you mean.
So yeah, they have
You want a fancy game?
the concept of spirit.
Fancy game?
Divot. Oh, fancy game.
Fancy game?
Oh, fancy a game as in chess. Oh hell yeah.
Let me go over, let's say, hold on. Queen, okay, let's start with king. King. No, let's start with, okay. Let's start with rooks. No, let's start with pawns. Yeah, pawns, okay, pawns. Front layer, like the army, the wall, right? Pawns, initially, can only go, on the first move, they can go up to 2 moves forward. With nothing blocking them.
Pawns can move. Think of them as moving forward 1 square.
But if they're blocked, they cannot move. But they can go diagonally over something.
Diagonally 1 square.
That's
If
it.
there is an opponent needs to capture.
However, they cannot go backwards. But there is one that they all can go backwards except the pawn. Yeah,
One cannot only go forward 1 square.
pawn is a loser.
That's why they're pawns.
I will pawn you this pawn for 1 penny. Pawn. Okay, so that's pawn. Now we're upgrading to knights, huh? Or no, rooks are the outside, or rooks or castles. Yeah, that's what they're called.
Rooks or castles.
The rooks or castles. Okay. Okay. The rooks or castles can go forward, all the way forward, all the way backwards, and all the way left, and all the way right. Correct?
As long as the space is open,
As
they
long-
cannot jump any pieces.
As long as the space is open and they cannot jump any pieces. Now, next to the rook is
So with a rook,
with
or
the rook,
castle,
with a castle.
if the way
If
is clear,
the way is clear, like a column or row,
if the way is clear and there's an opponent piece on the other end of that, you can go all the way across the
and
board
knock
nail
him out.
it.
Excellent.
If it's safe, is your piece protected?
Moving forward to the bishop.
Yes.
The bishop has the same concept of moving a ladder, of moving into diagonally. It can go all the way forwards at 45 degrees, all the way backwards at 45, forward to the left, to the right, back and left, back right, at diagonally 45 degrees in its own lane. And it can also knock one out all the way at the end if there's one at the end. Okay? Now, going to the queen. No, going to the knight. Knight is right next to the queen, right? Knights move in L directions, meaning so I can go 1 forward, 2 left, 1 forward, 2 right, 1 backwards.
It's like
To the
1
left.
and 2 or 2 and
Okay.
it looks like an L.
Yeah. Well, however way you look at it, leg or L, okay? And 1 back, 2 right, okay? But the difference with the knight is it can go.
What makes the knights special? The horses. The knights can jump over.
Can't kill it.
No, they can jump over.
Oh, they just jump. Oh,
It's like a horse jumping over a horsey ramp.
right.
Yeah, they can because they're a horse. They can
Excellent. That's
hurdle
it.
over, man.
I take out $20 for the because I haven't got paid.
Oh, no, that.
We go half season.
It's the trophies.
Yeah, like
Art Murder Incorporated. I do believe it's
The way you put it, man, I feel
microphone
totally.
works. Yeah, because do you believe in God, right? Like,
You mean as a concept?
do you believe it's a concept? Do you believe in the devil?
That thing like
Yes,
God is the devil, but the devil is God.
I believe in God. Oh, I could use that as a twist and put a God version of that scene, yeah? Like how he's doing miracles to the people.
Yeah, just replace God with, the devil with God. Just
With
replace it in that
And
script.
apply a miracle story.
Then I saw him hacked Ganji to pieces in front of his village and his
No,
whole
no.
family.
Then I saw her.
That man, I saw God.
Oh, just apply that in a miracle way. Because there was a lady that was
Apocalypse
cured.
Now stuff. Well, here it is. It's a fun game. Think of the title of a movie, right?
Okay.
And take the main noun out of it and replace it with the word penis.
It's not a gay joke.
No, it's not a gay joke. It's actually effing hilarious. Movie, any famous movie,
Avengers.
go. Avengers, what? Avengers, the End Game.
The end game and penis.
So Avengers, the End Penis. Okay, think of another one. How about a classic movie? Classic movies.
How about?
God, brain pills don't work.
No. Get it.
Green.
How about Titanic? Is that a classic? No. Gone with the penis.
Gone with the Wind. Yeah, Gone with the Penis.
But you said middle word, right? Gone, penis,
Well,
wind.
like you
Gone, penis, wind.
you take a noun or whatever.
Wind is a noun, right? Gone with the wind.
Yeah.
Okay, so gone with the penis. Dude, that's hilarious.
It's do a few of them, and you're like, sometimes it's like really hilarious.
So the kind of like the erotic writers would have a field day with this, like when they the X movie.
No, it's more like a kiddie freaking thing.
Oh.
It's like an immature freaking childish game, but it's fucking funny. I don't care. Swear as much as you want. I can edit. More than one word in the title.
No time to die. No time to die. No penis die.
No time to penis.
No time to no time to die. No time to.
That's right. I can edit some.
I feel uncomfortable talking about these words.
Screw that. That's why it's funny.
Okay. Doesn't make me gay, right? Talking about penises.
Live and let die.
Live and let penis. That's a good one.
James Bond one.
Okay.
Man with the golden
Penis. Oh, this is hilarious. This is hilarious. There's probably a YouTuber that makes fun of this.
You know if you heard of Mad Libs?
Yeah. He
Mad
does this.
No, Mad Libs.
Yeah.
He had like the words are taken out.
Yeah.
This one's a verb. This one's a noun.
Yeah.
And you just do the whole list, and then you read the story.
Yeah.
I heard some ghost tubers. They're called Ghost Theory. They're actually pretty good. They're getting pretty big now too.
Yeah.
Two British guys. Like they're actually pretty cool. You gotta see something. But it's real ghost hunting. They're sitting there listening for sounds. Like, where's everyone here? But as personalities, they're funny. So they did a Mad Lib in a haunted place, and so I was like in tears.
We're gonna invest in
Okay,
the phone.
here we go. More than one.
Okay.
Left lane, urge penis. No, it doesn't.
No time. So let's talk about James Bond. He's got some Quantum of Solace, Quantum of Penis. That's a good one.
Yeah. Okay.
From Moscow with love. From
Russia.
Penis with love.
From Russia.
From Penis with love.
From Russia with penis.
From Moscow with love. Okay. How about another one? Quantum of Solace. What's the other good James Bond movies?
James Bond. Say Dr. No. Die. Tomorrow Never Ends. Or something.
Penis Never Ends.
Tomorrow Never Penises.
Penis. Time. Oh, what about Spider-Man?
Octopus.
The Rise of Octopussy.
That's a Rise of Octopus.
The Rise of Penis.
Spider-Man movies.
Ultron, The Rise of Penis. Avengers, The Rise of Ultron, right? Day of Ultron.
Oh!
That's a nice pothole right there. That shit the
We will be full of penis jokes for 8 minutes. But okay, let's see. Come on. Any movie though with a long name. Come on.
Titanic.
Yeah, that's one word.
Titanic. Let the sinking begin. Let the
That's not a
Dora the Explorer. Dora the Explorer. The cave exploring. Dora the Explorer. Penis exploration. That's a real name. You asked for it.
yeah, but
Dora the Explorer.
Come on.
Yeah, jungle exploration begins. Okay.
Journey to the Center of the Earth.
Journey to the center of the penis. Journey is an adverb, right?
Well,
Earth is
you know
now.
what I'm saying?
So replace it.
Just tag it on the end. You get the point.
Okay, my brain hurts. I want to relax.
Your brain hurts.
Talking about penises.
My brain hurts.
I don't like this cover. I don't like this cover. It is
Too much.
divided by 2 is
5 again.
and that's how many fingers we do not have. We actually have 4 fingers and 1 thumb.
Gee, you'll be fine. That's just mind-boggling.
Isn't it? That's what I thought.
We have opposable thumbs that makes us human, but so do chimps. Spider monkeys.
They're cute.
I mean, we're talking about grabbing, talking about octopuses. Oh my god. They think octopuses have alien DNA. Do you hear about that stuff?
Yeah.
Everything's alien DNA.
Yeah, I saw that. There's an octopus
It's
that has
alien DNA.
foreign, right? Like foreign.
It's the new Tim Burton thing.
I saw an octopus with 100-foot long tentacles. It was like 5-foot body, but 100-foot long tentacles. It's next in the world.
Everything's DNA. See, when DNA came out and it was mapping DNA, everyone was so amazed about DNA that everything was just DNA. It's pretty
DNA sequencing.
unreliable science.
DNA sequencing.
They can do it pretty accurately now, where they can do some stuff with it, but it's not the answer to everything.
But it's pretty impressive. Like you can't be. You have to be optimistic about the future of humanity.
Okay, here, optimism. I learned this from the Museum of Man, Science Anthropology,
Please
in
teach
San
me,
Diego.
Mr. Evangelist.
In San Diego. Yeah, we'll find out evangelism. San Diego Museum of Man, a very prestigious museum, and they had a display, right? And the display was about the DNA.
What year?
The humans,
Give me timelines.
I shall give you an example of their factoids, which they
Factoids,
presented.
yep.
And one factoid, which you may have heard of, is that humans and chimpanzees have 98.9 whatever percent the same DNA.
True.
Chimps and humans are not that far off the same DNA. And in the same exhibit, which makes me want to do more penis jokes, because we have the same amount of DNA, the exact same 50% of human DNA is exactly the same as with a banana.
Wait, what?
A banana. Banana.
Repeat that again?
Banana. A banana and a human have 50% the same DNA. There's
Whoa, okay.
confidence in DNA for you.
Mind
No, that's true though.
blown. And then the weird thing is,
So DNA style, right?
and the weird thing is, chimps love eating bananas.
To understand, that's why we're 98.8%. Same as a chimp.
Okay, here's something profound. Thank you.
We're half banana.
Just go along with the facts of what I'm about to share. Christianity, religion, but more specifically Christianity, which is the core of the world, is Christian.
Which is 98.8% the same as a chip.
Do you think 98.8%, third of the world is Christian? What do you think?
Christianity is is the population of India and Hinduism, the population of Asia and Buddhism and that sort of thing.
Oh wow, so that's like half of the world then. And no, not China.
No, we're
So
getting about, as Christianity goes, I don't know, a good portion, but not like, friggin' whatever. Probably, I'd say 50, 60%.
Okay, let me ask Siri.
Ask Siri.
Hey Siri, what is the percentage of the world population that is Christian?
Of yours.
Faith is the rise. 84% of the global population is religious groups. Okay.
What percentage of the world's population is Christian? Because that will include Roman Catholicism and all the other flavors.
2.4 billion people is Christian.
Out of 8 billion?
Out of 8 billion, yeah. So that's a quarter. That's a third, yeah.
2 billion out of 8 billion is a fourth. Half of 8 is 4, half of that is 2.
So a quarter of the population.
Yes.
Okay, so a quarter of the population. Okay, so now that's kind of established. A quarter of the population believes.
We'll go to heaven, and the rest will go to pagan hell.
Yep. Now, check this out. Listen, seriously, this is Joe Rogan podcast. He brought up a good point.
The sage of the world. The wisdom of the ages. Not Seth Rogen? Joe Rogan. Okay. Joe Rogan, the modern Aristotle. Just because he's on a podcast.
Oh, yeah, he's very influential.
He's a lot of followers.
He's very influential.
So Trump. Okay.
So now that's established. Okay.
Skeptical of this.
I'm Christian, personally, but that's aside. Just
You have given testimony to Jesus Christ.
Part of that statistic.
That's only partially saved.
Christians, just generally speaking, so that now that's established, quarter of the population is Christian.
Anything not Christian is pagan.
Okay.
The definition. That doesn't mean shit.
6,000 years ago, okay? 6,000, so 4,000 BC, okay?
Yeah.
That's what they're taught in the Bible. That's what the Bible says, okay? Which is the highest selling
book.
Most selling book in the world. So
it's on the bestseller list all the time.
Yeah, all the time. Okay. So now that's established. A quarter of the population is religious to that. So, and then they're taught in schools, churches. That the world is 6,000 years old. Okay. Now that's just hypothetically.
Okay. Sunday school.
Yeah. Okay. Now. Okay. I'm part of that statistic, of course. As I said, I'm Christian. Okay. Now that's being said. Jumping forward to other pragmatic religions and other.
You believe in Jesus Christ. Okay, so that means you're Christian.
What do you mean? I believe in Jesus Christ.
Well, generally.
I believe that there's a man named Jesus that walked the earth.
Oh, you're going to dissect it? Okay.
Yeah. But I don't believe in the 6,000 year theory. Okay.
That's not Jesus.
No.
That's Genesis.
Genesis.
Old Testament.
Yep. Genesis, Old Testament. Now,
which most Christians will say is kind of like a biblical analogy, like a story, like a legendary story.
which is bullshit. Legends are bullshit.
No, it's not that legends are bullshit. It's almost a bad. It's like how they viewed passing on tradition and theory and values and all that back then was they would tell like a story.
Yeah.
And Genesis is
Story. And we know what, and obviously we all know what happens when you start a story in a circle. By the time it gets back, it's a completely different story.
Yeah. Phone game.
So, anyways,
but this is the fallacy, not a penis joke. This is the fallacy of that. Is that there was a guy in history. This guy sat down and on his books he wrote down, okay, Moses lived to be 900 years old, and this guy lived to be 600 years old. And then there's in Chronicles right after
Chronicles of Narnia.
No, it's a book in the Bible, Old Testament. It's right after Genesis. It says so and so begat, so and so begat, so and so begat. It's just a long list of like a lineage. That's a part of the Bible that you just kind of you start flipping pages, like But he goes backward through the lineage, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And he adds up generational years, 20, or whatever he added, because there's all these different ages in the Old Testament for how long they lived, pre-flood, after flood, and all that. And then he added up the years and came up with 6,000. So, because of one adding up 6,000 years, everyone's bouncing around going, 6,000 years, that's shit. Therefore, it's not true. And Genesis is not like a science book.
Well, there's a misconception, right? There's a misconception with that.
I'm just being pro-Genesis. Go ahead. There's a misconception.
I talked to a gentleman who is, maybe he's a generation of a baby boomer. He's a Gen X.
Caveman.
Gatherer and hunter.
Okay. There's ones that are hunters, and they started off first as hunters, right? Go out and hunt the deer and the antelope and all that. And that mastodon. Mastodons are like 40,000 years ago. 10,000, 12,000 years ago. That's a long time. Hunters. So the hunters came first, and then Tigris and Euphrates. Oh, we can plant plants and then grow plants, and we don't have to run around.
So you say Euphrates? That's it. You stop right there. You say Euphrates.
2 rivers.
Yes, those are the 2 biblical rivers. Now, why would that?
Old rivers.
Exactly. So why would that come into your storyline?
2 livers, and they're both shot with alcoholism.
Yeah.
You get 2 rivers converging. You have basically what they call the Fertile Crescent. That's what they call that place because of the shape of the area. And fertile being good ground to plant on, so they could make crops. So you have 2 rivers converging. You can just grow a bunch of stuff like mangoes and bananas and whatnot. Instead of hunting, you can sit in one place and just pluck the fruits of penis jokes.
So generally, that's where the modern-day Genesis population of the story legends began. From those 2 Euphrates.
You heard of Cain and Abel?
Yeah.
Of course. Okay. Cain and Abel. Cain was a hunter.
I'm concerned real quick. I'm very concerned about this traffic.
Cain is a hunter. Abel was more of a, farmer, right? And they both gave offerings to the Lord. Meaning, okay, so he, gave the ram, a good ram for the Lord. And Abel was, hey, here's some nice grains for the Lord. And the Lord favored Abel's offerings. The gatherer, right? The farmer, the agriculture guy. Cain got jealous and killed his brother.
Not listening.
That's what happened.
Not listening.
And he dragged Gubamba out in front of his village and hacked his coconut up.
No, good that.
Did you lock my window? Is this childproofing me? No, I didn't. I swear, I didn't. Oh my god.
Okay, so,
not excellent. Very not Robert.
and what Marilyn Monroe said?
Penis jokes are funny.
Any clue that you say. Kakadulo.
Any?
Yeah, Kakadulo.
Oh my gosh! I
It's
thought
a
you
good
were
one,
the
right?
conservative dog.
But that's a famous joke, so it's not a sophisticated society. Now, we found drawings and
Drawings.
yes, we found
Those two?
advanced structures as far back as right before the Great Flood, which was 10,000
Oh,
years
you're talking
ago.
about ancient aliens already.
No,
Advanced civilizations before the
Advanced-
pyramids,
before the Great
Atlantis,
Flood.
etc.
Yeah, before the Great Flood, which was
The
Ice Age,
Yeah.
which was the Great Flood. As an archaeologist, you can probably see this. Between 10,000 and 12,000 years ago, about 11,800 years ago, there was a Great Flood, like an event of a Great Flood.
The Pleistocene Ice Age ended, so there was a lot of flooding and
Yeah.
sea levels rose big time.
So
And glaciers and shit.
prior
were
to that-
locked in.
prior
When
to
they
the Great
melted,
Flood,
big
exactly.
flood.
We don't really have a lot of information about the civilization other than gatherer and hunters, right?
The big kings. Okay,
That's
go.
all. But there is evidence now of
Whisked away.
events of structures that are well planned out and architecturally designed as far back as
I'll give you Gokeki Tepe.
10,000 years ago. So how can gatherer and hunters build those, right? So that theory is not plausible. It's plausible, but it's not plausible because it's a big world, and some places of the world still had gatherers and hunters, but other places of the world was a den, like in the Middle East.
It boils down to what's your concept of a caveman, quote unquote.
No, it boils down to the events in history and what we're taught and not taught, and what we're taught. There's fractured history.
Well, yeah, there's history. Technically, is what's written down to be passed along. So, any situation where you have a civilization which doesn't have a written form of communication, a written language, they are prehistoric. Hawaiians were prehistoric, and they had stone tools mostly. So they were basically Stone Age prehistoric civilization, even though they're quite advanced in a lot of ways. So when you look at the terminology of history, it comes down when people write stuff down and it's passed along. So say there is, example, a gigantic advanced civilization, let's use Atlantis. And they wrote stuff down, but it wasn't preserved, right? Is it part of our history? No, we don't know about it.
We don't know.
But if stuff comes up, right, that you can prove is factual and not some hoax or forgery, because there's lots of that kind of stuff going on back then you have new facts come up, and history, it's not revised, it's more like discovered. Like people wrote down fake shit in history, and then they find out the real stuff, and they revise the history. That's good revision history. Revising it towards the truth. What really happened, what really existed.
Oh, I see. They're doing construction over there. This is
Batman! It's gonna go this way or that way.
He's choosing Gordon.
Driving to the
all this construction.
Every time I stop camera, we say some good stuff. It's always when the camera's off that cool stuff happens. Oh, look. Oh, this is what it's all about. Oh, making construction. He's like, hey, look, Hawaiians. This is where all the Hawaiians are. My ancestors are buried in the sand. I get to go up here. Holy crap, this is a long stretch that walked off into this counter. Oh man. City and county. Union after union after union, but so get the block traffic. Bigly. All these guys are like, it sucks, man. Should we turn around? All these guys are thinking, should we turn around?
Some. no, there's no. See, there's like no traffic here. What the fuck? There's like no traffic here.
Wow. Unions. Make us go back to caveman time.
Yeah. Oh, okay. There's another. I see. Okay, there's some. Look, don't assume, Michael. Look, there's more to this story than you think, brah. Look.
Just when you thought it was okay, it sucks some more. Okay, let it go. We're going. Hey, keep going.
Look, oh my god,
Go
dude, go for die, you.
Come on, follow the guy. I was like, don't run me over, mother. Oh. Okay, so this guy says that there's ancient advanced civilizations before that were wiped out in history.
That by the flood, yeah. Basically, that's what it all leads to.
If you hear the word diluvian, that means the flood.
Diluvian, yeah.
If you're ante, it's ante as in before, not anti as in since. So antediluvian is before the flood. And there's the quote-unquote Noah flood, and then there's basically flood reports all over the world.
What is there a timeline on Noah's flood?
Oh yeah, if you talk to Mr. 6,000 years.
That's 6,000 years. Yeah.
No,
so
it's after 6,000 because 6,000 years was Adam and Eve, right?
That's when the earth.
And then right after you got giants because they're the watchers of Nephilim, and then God's like, you know what, screw this, wipes it all out.
Fascinating history indeed.
Well, it's more than the quickie cliff note version, and when you take into account that I don't know how to say it, it's storybook fashion, you know.
Take a little break, stretch your legs, have some water, take some pictures of the ocean, use the bathroom, and go back in. Types of civilizations, I believe into that.
Oh no, they're not doing types of civilization.
No, I believe into that.
Or type 1 civilization, some guy making a rain. But whatever. If you control the cosmos like Star Wars, you're type 4 civilization. You're not even the type 1
civilization. I believe into that shit, I really do.
Okay, well, yeah, that's an explanation.
I believe
advancement and development.
I believe in civilization. Do I believe in Jesus? I believe in God, but I do not believe in the whole Genesis. I do not believe in that Genesis bullshit.
Genesis 6,000 years ago.
I do not believe into that.
Don't subscribe.
I do not subscribe to that. No.
Well, Jesus, you say yes. Are we going in here without dying? Hopefully. Oh shit! I'm dying. Oh fuck! Where are we? Oh. The land of my ancestors.
Makapu'u, flat island, flat. Rabbit Island, here, the rabbit.
Groundhog Day, so Pope Ichiwara or whatever, Phil the Groundhog, poked his head out of what's called Gobbler's Knob, which is one of those weird names of a place, and he said 6 more weeks of winter. So here we go, 6 more weeks of winter. Bundle up. It's gonna be a cold one.
Before we go to our next destination.
This editing job will be.
See it. Okay, Booty Patrol. YMCA.
Just add that into the.
Yeah, we're not for it. Go. It's not even real.
That's the whole point, bro.